on the pills this morning. Got a little bit of a sore back. I've like pulled a muscle back there or something of the sort. But good morning everyone, how are you all doing? It's been so extremely wet here over the last couple of days, but mainly the weekend. It is Monday today, so the start of a new week, and we're actually into July. But there is a little bit of sun around today. Well, there was before actually. Big Yellow was out, but it's gone away. And it almost looks like there's a little bit of a shower coming in again. Bit of a late start this morning. The cows are standing on concrete at the moment. So both herds are off grass because, well, we did it yesterday. I got back yesterday afternoon. Me and Holly went away to Taupo for the weekend, which was quite nice to just get away, recharge the batteries again. But we pulled the cows off, me and Dad. It just looked like there could have been a little bit of rain on the way and they were making such a mess. Everything's just so wet at the moment. So they're standing on concrete. I shifted the heifers last night, so they should be sweet. Hopefully I'll shift them later and they'll only have one break today if it stays fairly dry. Fingers crossed. But since they're on the cow shed, it is a good opportunity to have a draft up. So on my list here, there's 117 cows. There's about 240 mixed age cows together, so pretty much just need to split them in half. All these cows here, these are calving before the 3rd of August, which is about halfway for us. We start on about the 16th, although I took a cow out last night because she sort of bagged up quite a bit and was looking like she was going to calve pretty soon. So I put her in with the heifer that we're milking at the moment, so there might even be a calf there today. Hopefully not, but I guess we'll find out in a little bit. I was just having a look at the weather forecast for the week, and it actually looks like the next couple of days might be fine, which would be really nice. Maybe even windy would be good too, because the wind would dry things out. But then it looks like it's turning to absolute custard again at the end of the week. It just says rain and westerlies, which isn't good. If it says rain, we're probably going to get it, and it looks like that for about 5 days at the end of the week. So we're in pretty dire straits, to be honest. Here's the rain gauge. There's another 50 mils in there. That's from over the weekend and the end of last week. Oh man, we're not in a great place, but we're not the only ones. Everyone around here or in the Waikato is struggling big time at the moment. So just gotta get on with it, unfortunately. Girls are waiting patiently on the yard here. They will be very hungry. They haven't had a feed today, but to be honest, the best thing to do would probably be just to leave them on here for just a little bit longer. When I said we're in dire straits, one of the main reasons is because it is so wet at the moment. It's hard not to make a mess. Down at the house down there's a set of trees. The cows made heck of a mess in that paddock the other day, which it might not be too bad because we could probably put maize in there in the summer, or we're thinking that's what we might do. But you also go through a lot of grass, so instead of giving the cows 1 break a day, you've sort of got to give them 2, because you move them in the morning, they make a mess, so you got to move them at night, and by moving them sort of that twice, you limit the amount of damage you're making. But it's also just turned quite cold, and typically we usually have really dry summers, and we can tend to grow more grass through the winter than we do in the summertime. But this year it's just turned really cold at the moment, and because the ground is so waterlogged, it doesn't take much to lower the ground temperature as well. So we don't have a lot of grass around. The paddocks around the shed here, I'm saving them for once the cows calve, and then over on the knob over there's some good grass paddocks that have got good covers in them, but I'm saving them for when the cows start calving, and that's not for another 2 weeks. And I've pretty much eaten everything else off that isn't sort of those paddocks. So I'm getting really tight for grass. I'm not actually sure where I'm going to put these girls. I need to go and put up a few fences at the moment, but I'm struggling to find a place to put them. Oh well, hey, lucky I did draft that cow out last night. What is that? You did calve. That's the heifer we're milking, and that's cow number 1. I'm really hoping she had a heifer calf. What are you, little fella? Looks like a bull. I think it is a bull. Oh, it's a heifer. Awesome. Awesome. Got our first replacement. And we just, oh, you feel like you've had a feed too, which is also good. You can see how bagged up she got. So yeah, like I said, very lucky we pulled her out. Nice little cow, that one. I've actually just ordered some wood chip too, which should turn up in the next couple of days. So I'll have to sort those sheds out. I do have a place for her. I'll get her in. I'm gonna leave her here with Mum. She can have a drink when she wants, and we can't milk those cows because the cows are on the yard anyway. That'll be this afternoon job, but that is cool. She's actually a Lamar, or Lamar is her father, which was quite a cool bull that I used. So yeah, that's cool. Awesome. On the board now. First replacement. It's just another shower going through. It's just been drizzly all morning really. Jeez, this weather is horrible. Horrible. But I've just fenced a break off here. This is the annual, and I've really got no other option, but I'm going to chuck the cows on here, so they're going to get 4 breaks in this paddock. They're going to be pretty big breaks. I'm thinking we're only going to stick them in for maybe like a couple of hours, say 3 to 4 hours. I'll feed them a bailout as well in with them, and then I'll just pull them back off and they can go back into the cow shed tonight. Especially if it's going to be like this, they're just going to make a mess, and I don't really have the option anymore of just giving them more grass, because then I'm really going to run out real quick and we're going to be in a worse situation. So I think that's the best thing to do. Early, yep. Early. Early. Late. Late. Early. Oh, hold on. Too early. 3 early. 4. That next one's early. Then late. Late, too late. Just what we need, more rain. Just really doesn't feel like it's going to let up. Absolutely crazy. But all the cows are drafted. It's probably not the best weather to put new cows in with each other. But then at the moment, who knows when it is going to be good. So just have to bite the bullet. Plus there's a few of them that are springing up quite a bit. So they might calve in maybe in a week's time. So better to separate them. Jeez, that is. Man, it's wet. I need to go get a bale and feed out on that annual for these cows, then I can let them go. And then I need to set up a break for these ones. Haven't got a paddock for them yet. The wind's really picked up. It is pretty strong. It's blowing these trees around pretty severely, so hopefully it doesn't actually push any of them over, because they are big top heavy gum trees. I've actually just chucked them in here where the gateway is. So normally we would put them at the other end of the paddock, at the furthest end, and you walk them towards the gateway, but because I'm probably going to bring them back out tonight and put them on concrete as the weather's looking pretty miserable, as you can tell from out there, I thought we'd just put them nice and handy so they'll just come straight out the gate and then out. At my local discussion group the other day, someone said we'd actually had about 1100 mils of rain before this last lot, so it'd be pretty close to probably 1200 at the moment, and that is our annual rainfall. So we'll definitely exceed that this year. Look, there's a little bit of blue sky behind me, and it's actually quite warm. There's a little bit of heat in that sun, which is nice. It just needs to come out a little bit more often. The early calvers, they're all sorted. They're on the annual over there. Jeez, the cows made a bit of a mess in this paddock down by that corner there. Oh well, it's going to happen on a day like this, and I just need to milk these 2 cows, which I will do soon, but I'm just going to shoot back and have a quick coffee first. Man, that wind is seriously humming at the moment. We're supposed to have a trampoline out there somewhere, but it has absolutely taken off, and he ended up down in the paddock there, which is a bummer. Looks a bit bent out of shape. Darn. on the more positive side, I did get a new shirt. How cool is this? So a little while ago, I did a podcast on the Sod Pod. So if you haven't checked it out, go and have a look. But this is pretty cool. They did say they would send over a shirt. It looks pretty Irish. Obviously, that's where they're from. And a smartwatch came too. So cheers, fellas. That is awesome. Hopefully this little heifer will go in first. Be good to have her in front of the cow. Probably won't happen that way though. Oh yes, that's it. Oh, look at that, perfect. Come on, girl. Put your head over. Put your head over, that's it. Whoa. Yeah. Couple of nice, quiet cows. She's actually a really nice cow, that one, number one. Beautiful udder on her. Nice to get a replacement from a cow like that. I have moved their fence too, so they're going back to a new break now. At least that little heifer's got a mate. She wasn't too keen on the bottle, but she has had a feed, and this morning she had quite full gut, so at least she's had some colostrum off that cow. I might try again later on, and if she doesn't take it then she'll drink in the morning. One of the things that sort of has helped us out, I suppose, in a year like this though, is that we do calve typically quite late for our area, don't we? We start on about the
20th of July.
Yeah, well, maybe a couple, say the 18th of July, and people have started calving now, so it is kind of good. And Dad hasn't been keen to pull the calving forward at all.
Now, like if you start on the 20th, then you always have cows. You always have some calves on the ground at the 10th, on the 10th or around the 10th. So that's 10 days early. So yeah, if you're going to start on the 10th, you're going to have calves on the 1st, which is it's way too early. So you need to get a little bit of a holiday. And we're early enough now. We're getting calves now. And what's today? The 3rd. That's not good.
Yeah, a couple of cows will probably calve a little bit early, but it's certainly good this year being a little bit later, or the cows calving a little bit later, especially with this wet weather. Hopefully it finds up for when we do start calving. That would be ideal. But have you ever, well, how long have you been back on the farm for? 30 plus years?
Yeah, it would be, yes, yep.
Maybe
35 maybe.
35 years. So have you ever seen it this wet?
Yeah, look, you tend to forget all the bad things that have gone in the past, but no, at this time of the year I don't think it's ever been this wet before. Not that I can remember, but we get, like, you look down there's not that much water sitting down there on the flats, is there? So
well, it doesn't look like it, but there is a lot. Yeah, well, there's not, I guess it's not flooded as such, but then we didn't really get like a dry summer. It sort of rained all the way through, so typically when we get a dry summer, the ground's real hard going into winter, so the cows don't make too much of a mess when you get these big heavy downfalls. But this year it's just been so soft the whole way through. Just like little bits of rain, you get 5 mils, and the cows just, they make a paddock look pretty bad or black, which hasn't helped. But
starting to do that one over there now, and the cows have only been on there for 4 hours. So
yeah, the cows that are on the annual, we are going to pull them off. Just rather be safe than sorry, really. They've had a good feed. They've had a pretty big break, so and silage over there. But we'll get them on here tonight anyway. Maybe the other cows too. Put everything back on concrete.
Yep, good idea.
But yeah, I don't know, surely it's got to dry out at some point.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow's going to start.
For a couple of days. Should be pretty toasty and warm in here. I'll just shut that door when I leave so the wind can't get in and there's no draft. I have cleaned the shed out a little bit more, so I've actually got another trailer load out. John came over for the weekend and took it, and now I've just got to really just do a bit of shovel work, get the stuff up the side, and haven't got too much left to go really, and I can start bringing the new stuff in. I'll probably fill this shed with all the calves first, and then once I get to 40 in here, because this shed can handle 40 piece of cake, I will move over to the others and I'll probably go 12 in a pen, because I think you get 12 around the feeder, and that will do me. Usually I take about 75 replacements, but because we have cut cow numbers back from 320 to 300, I'm going to try and do about 62 replacements, so a little bit less. But yeah, what a year to drop cow numbers. It was good in hindsight. I'm glad we're not milking or have 320 cows on at the moment, because yeah, would be a real short of feed. So good hindsight there. There was a bit of a shower that just passed through. Oh, look at that. There's like blue open sky up there. Lovely. I'm gonna go and put a fence up in front of those cows. I didn't do that today. For tomorrow, then I'll bring them off. They can stand in here the night. But that pretty much sums it up for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up like always, and apart from that, see you next time. They definitely need to come off. I've only been in here a couple of hours. Look at that. That is bad. They don't particularly want to come out though. Come on, up you go.